You're listening to Soap Dirt, the latest in television entertainment news.
Hey, Young and the Restless fans, we have got some brand new spoilers for next week, including a huge move that Kyle Abbott makes that is going to totally stun Victor Newman. It's Belinda from Soap Dirt, and we've got the newest Young and the Restless spoilers for the week of June 2nd through the 6th. Not the whole roster, but a good many that I think you're going to enjoy. If you're not following, please click subscribe. We're going to talk about what's ahead next week for Kyle Abbott, Victor Newman, Billy Abbott, Sally Spectra, Amy Lewis, and some more. All right, so at the end of this week, we've got Nikki Newman's party starting, and Victor Newman gives her yet another present. It's not a necklace. It's not a music box. It is the key to a fully restored Ferrari that she has wanted since she was a teenager. Now, if this was soap operas in the 80s, we'd get to see her driving around in that Ferrari, but it's 2025. We're not going to see them spend that kind of money, but Nikki's excited, and Nick can't wait to drive the car. So they head over to the party, but before they go, Nick hands over these black envelopes that he found like at the gate with their names on them. Victor doesn't want to mess with them. He wants to get over to Nikki's party and says, we'll do it later. Tonight's about the wife. So Kyle Abbott is actually at the party even before Claire Newman is. Victoria's there, party planner Pietro is there, all that good stuff. So Kyle has already warned his dad, Jack Abbott, to play nice with Victor tonight. Not that Jack is ever the problem, but despite Kyle thinking it is totally a lost cause to try and get Victor to approve of him being with Claire, he promised her that he'll try, and it does seem Kyle may be doing something big and extra and dramatic. We'll see. Before Claire shows up, though, her mom, Victoria Newman, who is definitely on Team Kyle and Claire, asks Kyle how he feels about Claire's plan to try and get Victor to accept him. And I will say that Kyle's pragmatic. He's a realist. He tells Victoria he doesn't think anything is going to change Victor's mind. But Kyle also tells Victoria he is going to give it his best shot. So it'll be next week when we see Claire looking quite lovely when she arrives at the party. And Kyle wants Claire to save a dance for him. She's ready to save them all for him. And Kyle says he has got one more move to try and sway Victor. So you got to ask yourself, what move does Kyle think he could make to get Victor to change his mind? So I'm wondering if Kyle decides to propose to Claire at the party next week in front of everybody. Because right now, maybe Kyle thinks that Victor isn't taking him seriously because he doesn't think that Kyle is taking Claire seriously. Maybe Victor thinks Kyle is being really casual about Claire, and Victor doesn't want her just shacking up with Kyle Abbott. Shacking up with any guy, but we're Shed and Abbott. So maybe Kyle's making a grand gesture at Nikki's party, and could be we see Kyle talking about how much he loves Claire, and Kyle says Claire's his soulmate. We have heard him say before he's never been around or been seeing a woman like her, and which was kind of insulting to Summer, but he said it. So maybe Kyle's going to say, this is my soulmate, Claire changed my life, and maybe Kyle says he wants to marry her, pulls out a ring. We'll see. I am guessing that Claire would probably want to say yes if Kyle proposes, but no way would Victor be convinced. And if Kyle does propose, I could see Victor making a whole scene and telling Claire no before she gets a chance to answer. We'll see. Maybe he does something else. Maybe he just has a really good gift for Nikki, but I'm cheering for a proposal just because I know it'll piss Victor off the most. And of course, if Kyle does propose, Claire and Victoria and Nikki would all swoon at the romance of it, but not her grandpa. Also, at the end of this week, all the movers and shakers in town got invitations from mystery man Dumont. He's throwing a private party at his place in the south of France on Friday, June 13th, invitation only. Between now and then, we'll see if Phyllis gets her meeting in D.C. So invitations went out to Damien and Lily, to Victor and Nikki, to Michael and Lauren, to Jack and Diane, among others. And it also looks like Billy Abbott got an invitation, although his was not shown on the Friday episode. So next week's spoilers have Sally Spectra very concerned when Billy tells her that she and the company mean everything to him, but that's just him trying to get out of trouble. Sally's upset at Billy, and she's clapping back about him leaving the country at the most critical time for Abbott Communications. Sally and Billy are set to launch AbbottCom, I think next week, maybe week after. It's coming up soon. They're planning the party. But Billy insists that he has to find out what Dumont has planned for his family. And just based on Sally's reaction, it seems like Billy also gets an invite and is definitely going. And Sally should expect that since Billy's been trying to get a meeting for quite a while. But it also sounds like he didn't get a +1 since he's not asking her to go, or maybe he just wants her to stay in Genoa City and keep working. It looks like we will get the mystery man's identity in just 10 episodes. His party is on Friday, June 13th. So that's every episode next week and then another 5. So 10. Based on another hint that they have given this week about the location of the party in France, I continue to suspect this is recast Kane Ashby sending out the invitations, but at least we know when all this nonsense is going to be done and we get a name and a face. Also next week, Nate Hastings and Audra Charles spend time with Amy Lewis. With her cancer treatments going well, Nate encourages Amy to keep that upbeat attitude, and she's feeling more positive by the day and tells Nate and Audra that she has made a decision. Now, Amy already agreed that she would move in with Damien when he asked, and he told his mom he decided to stay in Genoa City. Maybe it's about that. We'll see, unless they've decided to get rid of the character and she's going to move closer to her doctors. Who knows? Hopefully, Amy's health news stays positive when we find out her cancer is in remission soon. She definitely wants to be close to Damien, Nate, and Audra, and Amy and Audra have that whole kind of mother-daughter vibe going, which is good since Nate's girlfriend fell out with her own family and she doesn't really have a lot of people in her life. So wait to see if Kyle's grand gesture to try and sway Victor is a romantic public proposal to Claire or just a very thoughtful gift for Nikki. I'm hoping it's the proposal. I also expect Victor to pitch a fit at the party no matter what. And we could see the mustache gearing up for another fit of outrage when he and Nikki open their invitations after the party that they got from the mystery man. Things heat up on Young and the Restless next week. Be sure to check out our full weekly spoilers video tomorrow for the week of June 2nd through the 6th.
Thank you for being a loyal listener. Follow us wherever you get your podcast, because you don't want to miss the next episode. Soap Dirt is on all the major podcast platforms, including Apple Podcast, Spotify, iHeartRadio, and more.